Oh my God. I could think of no better way to celebrate my birthday than to get as butt naked as I could. No makeup, almost no hair. I'm 64. Will you still love me? That's the real question. Everything that I needed to know in life about being a woman, I learned from my body and from my mother. Thank you, Mom. The wisdom and gifts associated with being a woman and being in a woman's body, well, this has taught me to embrace life as a sensory, always changing, sensuous, intelligent creature, ageless. I begin with the sense of sight, and this was watching the woman in my life that gave me my life, my mother, Jeannie. A robust Botticelli woman my mother exuded and still does at 90. The essence of what it means to be feminine and to be a woman, a mother, a friend, a wife, a lover of life itself. To this day, I am in awe of her grace, her power, her feminine beauty, the gift of being a woman that she taught me about, the beauty. She taught me to honor and to respect the essence of who I am. Little Debbie. Thank you, Mom. She also taught me that being in a woman's body means taking on the responsibility of creating beauty in life that others in the world around me can experience and enjoy. Everything she did left her mark of beauty and consequently left me and those in her presence breathless. Creation, she said. This is the power of a woman, and it is one of the greatest strengths that you have, Debbie. My mother taught me to love and to adorn my body with clothes and ornaments, visually honoring the sacred vessel. Dressing for fun and for joy and for pleasure, and not only dressing for me, for my own enjoyment, for others as well. Always and most importantly, she said, dress for your own enjoyment and pleasure and satisfaction. For when you look in the mirror, if you're touched by what you see, you will turn the world on. You will touch others. You will reflect outwardly the inward joy that you're experiencing. Others will see it and feel it. I learned to dress for me and also to dress a table. Dressing the table for anticipation that those who would dine with me would be transported as I was as a child by the most magical moment of sitting at a table dressed. I learned to stop and to take time to look at a praying mantis on a leaf or to listen to a crow calling my attention. Thank you, Mom. I learned to never forget to honor and say thank you to my partner, the man I call husband. I learned the benefits and spiritual pleasure associated with fully giving my body, my mind, my emotions, my truth, my heart, my ideas, my soul to friends, to family, and most of all to my mate, the one I choose to walk with. I learned to listen to a silent but oh so precious voice inside me. It's the same voice that my mother listened to, and she still listens to. It's the one that holds space for feelings and for tears and laughter and compassion and sorrow and trust and fear. Everything is okay there with that little voice. I learned to respect all people, to value all people, and to communicate intimately with a very special part of me, my feminine intuition, and to include this wisdom in my choices and decisions in the way that I live my life. This part of me became a unique complement to the male parts of me, the more linear, more strategic parts of me, parts of me that think in a different way. Thank you, Mom. I learned how to sit on a couch and cross my legs and quietly nurture and in my own silence celebrate what I would eventually share with a partner and continue to share with myself, this beautiful sexual part of me. 8,000 nerve endings dedicated to pleasure. Sitting quietly and knowing deep inside this physical, emotional love that I had was mine, part of womanness. I enjoyed living, and I still do, living in a woman's body. Thank you, Mom. I learned that to give life goes beyond birthing children, that giving life means to give and to tenderly hold my husband, my children, hold space for the man who sobs in remorse for fear of not having enough money to feed his children or afraid he can't buy them Christmas presents. I learned that true strength is the ability to embrace what is with my feminine softness and masculine strength and tenderness, understanding, compassion, now all folded within the wrinkles of me. And I learned that what is important is being there in the moment, connected and available to life itself. I learned that being self-sufficient, autonomous, and self-reliant are qualities that will attract others of like mind and like strengths. I learned that being a woman is a choice. It's one that I made, that I believe at the point of conception, that reflects a spiritual agreement I made. Agreement that asks and requires that I make a commitment to giving up my body to the creation of life, and if I choose, the birth of another, which I did. And I'm blessed with 2 beautiful girls. My mother gave me life, I gave them life, and they give me such a great life. I learned what opening and to open means. To monthly feel the ebb and flow of the universe through my body, bleeding, and every moment to moment, every second to second, the ability to witness my body as a woman changing shape and size and texture and volume and taste and smell and oh so every feeling available. Being a woman, being in this body, this Debbie body, meant recognizing the sacrifice and the choice of giving up my life force energy for 9 months to create life, and then protecting and providing the best way that I could, a sacred space for this soul to be born. To be a woman, the favorite part, it knows how to be out of control, and I certainly have. I've lived in natural time. I've surrendered to the highest yes and the highest no. And I've had the courage, and I've learned this courage from my mother, that it's good to say yes and good to say no. Thank you, Mom. I learned to physically say yes and be vulnerable, what first appeared to be an intrusion into my female body from a male form, only discover through this union the physical and spiritual sensation of something so divine, something revealed and experienced by watching my parents through their touch, through their smile, through their love, unveiling the truth of what it means to be in union and communion, in family. Thank you, Mom. I learned from being held and being touched and kissed and caressed how to be a woman, available for the love of women and men, available. And I learned the greatest gift is sharing the body, the mind, the emotions, spirit, sharing the love of my feminine spirit. Thank you, Mom. I learned that I'm not only the woman who loves flowers and poetic seduction and clothes and shoes and jewelry and fragrances and a great closet and boots, but I learned that I love tenderness and compassionate and passionate encounters I love people. I love life. I love differences and likenesses, and I love the gifts that make me feel adorned and honored and ravished for who I am, Debbie. Most of all, being a woman has taught me to say goodbye and to say hello. Every day I live in this body, I know it is dying and it is being reborn this day at 64. Whether I experience birth or death or menopause, it's all in the day's work of a woman's body, my body. Best I can do is to celebrate who I am right now. Little Debbie Rosas, that was Debbie Bender, and then became Debbie Sarantakis, and then became Debbie Bender again, then became Debbie Rosas, and then became Debbie Stewart, and chose to stay with Debbie Rosas for reasons associated with creating the work that I love, Nia. The best I can do is feel my experience and express my truth to myself, about myself, truth to myself, and truth to myself about to another, and to everybody, truth. And truthful also about the sadness, the parts of me that are dying, that have died, like the eyelids I used to love, and the skin that held everything in place a little bit better. But I love these eyelids that I have and this skin now. Yes, parts of me have left, like my children, like my dad, who's no longer here. But within those parts that have left, new parts have shown up. And I remember from my mom to see and to express beauty and love, and to share the womanness that is mine, for it is all that I have to hold and share until death do us part. Thank you, Mom.